Always something good going on in Miss Pat's neighborhood.
Welcome to Miss Pat's Neighborhood. I want to thank everyone who tuned in last week for our premiere. And I promise to keep the information interesting and relevant during this season. Over the past few weeks, we've gone through a lot in our city. And I just want to take a moment to shout out the organizers who have been working tirelessly to put together the protests and the direct actions and keep the memory of Breonna Taylor alive. I was most pleased to see Praise in the Park. You know, we as a people, we recognize the need to praise God even despite a global pandemic. Last week was also the first week of NTI 2.0. And while there were some challenges, I still want to wish the students and the staff a successful year in spite of COVID. So let's move on. On today's episode, I'm going to chat it up with Nicole Hayden with 50/50 Mentoring Collaborative. And this week's hidden gem is Miss Jackie Mayfield. She is the owner of Super Beauty with an I, and she's gonna tell us all that her business is doing. So stay right there, and we'll be right back.
Simmons College of Kentucky presents the music stream of the summer, Sunday, September 6th. Going live at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Breonna, Say Her Name. In conjunction with the St. Stephen Music Department, paying tribute to a new generation of Black activists who are changing the world. This epic virtual event will feature special guest appearances from Governor Andy Beshear, Dr. Kevin Cosby, Dr. Sam Tolbert, Killer Mike, Yvette Carnell, Antonio Moore, and Dr. Cornel West. Special musical guests include Jason Claver, Kevin B. James, Titus Robertson, and Dr. Mondre Moffitt. Don't miss the premiere song by Colette Bridgewater, paying special tribute to Breonna and a new generation of Black activists. Sunday, September 6th, at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the Justice Concert of the Decade. Breonna, Say Her Name.
Nicole Hayden, welcome.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you for having me.
Good. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so
know you've been up all night.
Yes, I have.
Thank you for your sacrifice.
Thank you. Thank you.
I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And I just wanted to, kind of get everybody, I want everyone to understand Nicole Hayden has been on the front lines in our quest for justice. And so she's been our community connector with a national organization called Until Freedom. So tell us a little bit about your involvement with Until Freedom.
Well, of course, being born and raised in Louisville, Kentucky, we've definitely seen the injustice that the police has done. So I took it upon myself to welcome national organizations, or any organizations for that part, that has came into Louisville to try to help expand what's been going on nationally and globally. So when Until Freedom came, I offered to help and just asked them, what can I do? And from that have formed a friendship and a family for the most part, and just basically helped them on the ground in Louisville with whatever they need as far as connecting with community organizers, helping plan and assist with events, and just making sure they have the inside knowledge on what really goes on in Louisville, Kentucky.
I mean, I followed Breonna Con.
Yes.
And my favorite event by far was Praise in the Park.
Praise in the Park. It really shifted the atmosphere. You know what I mean? Louisville right now, we're dealing with so much trauma, so much pain, not only from the Breonna Taylor case, but just things that we've probably been dealing with for years in this community. And so Breonna Con in Praise in the Park, you know, with community just coming together, because everybody kind of pretty much been in the house since COVID. So, you know, social distancing at the event, I think it just shifted and changed the spirit of the city, which is needed, and uplifted people who probably was down just during this time, because it's a lot of hurt, it's a lot of pain that is going on in the city.
Well, I think it's a wonderful work being done, and I'm glad that you're involved, and you kind of keep me connected. So
Yes.
good job, good job.
Thank you.
I also wanted to go back because the first time that I heard the name Nicole Hayden was there was a pageant going on in the city.
Yes, there was.
And I actually started to get in that pageant.
You should.
No, I
come on.
no. So Miss Nicole was actually crowned as Miss Plus America.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
2014. Yes, ma'am. Miss
So how was that
America.
experience?
That was a life-changing experience for me. I mean, I always, you know, consider myself a confident person. And so when somebody said join the pageant, I thought, well, I'm not no pageant girl, because one day I might have my hair long. It may be short, shaved on the side. It may be pink. You just never know. But I thought it would be a great opportunity to inspire other women to love themselves and to be confident. And not only that, with the kids and things like that I mentor, it will be an example for them to hopefully follow, you know, to follow the dreams or follow something that may be different than what they would normally do in their everyday life. And so from that, I loved it. Hopefully I inspired some people, but I've learned so much from traveling to different cities, and just even in my own community, the support that I received was amazing.
It just seemed like it would be something fun.
It was fun. It was fun. I never thought I would want to walk around with a crown so much, but I tell people, all my pageant sisters, they got cases and things like that for their crowns. And of course that was like, you know, my second, you know, largest crown, but I wore that crown so much, I was like, if you wear your crown enough and it don't have no bumps and bruises along the way, then you ain't done your job. If it still look, you know what I'm saying, if it still looks intact, I ain't saying I'm not responsible, but if it kind of still looks intact and it doesn't have no bumps and bruises, then you ain't got out and done what you're supposed to do as a queen.
Yes, and wear it, you did.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Well, great. Well, I wanted you to come on today because I really want you to tell the viewers about the Friends of Nicole 50/50 Mentoring Collaborative. I've had a chance to witness it firsthand, and I love the concept. I love what takes place.
Yeah.
You know, my daughter is out at Minor Daniels, and you went out there and did it, and I was just amazed.
Yes.
I believe in what mentorship does, but to see what you were able to accomplish was amazing.
Yes, and I just feel like it's definitely needed. So the Friends of Nicole 50/50 Mentoring Collaborative started out even kind of pretty much from the pageant. I've always been somebody, my background is social work, so I've always worked with kids, worked with kids in the community, and even in the schools. So I do group mentoring in JCPS, so I service about 6 or 7 schools, well, since pre-COVID, but I service about 6 or 7 schools, and I do group mentoring in there for middle school and high school girls. But what I realized when I went into these schools, that there were only one of me. You know what I'm saying, for all these girls, and there needed to be more women involved in their lives. And I knew that I had some friends of Nicole with a variety of different backgrounds, whether it was being a nurse, an actor, entrepreneur, you know, whatever, a lawyer, judge, you know, whatever that may be. I wanted young girls of color to be able to see someone that looks just like them, because we all need to have a person to look, you know, to look up to. We all have, of course, our moms and our grandparents and aunts and uncles are our first examples of leaders. But at the same time, you know, I tell parents sometimes it takes 3 to 4 people in order to make a student successful. And that is a parent, maybe a teacher, and a mentor. And so that the importance of having a mentorship, especially at the middle school level. You know, we want them at the high school level, but at the middle school level, the way, you know, social media is affecting the kids and things like that, it's needed early on. So my mentors is 50 mentors, 50 mentees for 50 hours for 1 year. And so we have 12 different experiences, and those experiences are held once a month. So once a month, collectively as a group, we do take trips to the museum. I try to expose them to different things that they've never been exposed to before. A year before last, I had the opportunity to take some kids to Africa. You know, that was always a goal of mine. I was afforded that opportunity at 17 years old myself with the Chestnut Street YMCA. And so I thought it was my turn to give back in such a manner like that. And so taking them girls to Africa, to Morocco, you know, I took three young ladies from Louisville, and then 2 or 3 more other young girls from Atlanta and New Orleans. And so that experience alone is just exposing them to the world, you know. So global education is really one of our main principles that I try to, you know, get our girls to see outside of Louisville. Because, you know, you have people that really ain't never been outside of Louisville, not even over the bridge, you know what I'm saying? So my program, you know, focuses on that, you know, along with sisterhood, community engagement, and even with what I'm doing right now. What I'm doing right now in the community is very important for my girls to see that. Social justice, because they could have been a Breonna Taylor. You know, violence happens every day, even at, you know, at some of my students at Minor Daniels. My girl students have got shot. You know, I know some of my former students have gotten murdered. So when I see stuff like that, it's like we as a community, and even as my organization, have to get a hold of our girls and keep exposing them to a variety of different stuff. And so I was so proud that my students put together their own Very March. And I helped, you know what I'm saying, help with that. And I'm like, y'all need my help? They're like, nah, Mr. Cole, we got this, we got this. And when I showed up, it was hundreds of high school seniors that came in their cap and gown and marched from the waterfront all the way to City Hall. That just warmed my heart, and that just let me know what 50/50 is doing, you know, is planting seeds in these kids. And I have literally watched these kids grow. And you wanna know something funny? I got a funny story. And it just popped up in my timeline, and I'm looking around, I'm realizing where I'm at. But in the space of the community center, in a dance room, I had my first group of students, like my first group of like mentoring summer program, and that was back probably about 10 years ago. And I had my first college graduate this summer. Wow. And I look back, and St. Stephen's was the building in which I had, which allowed me to have my summer camp in. So they was in the dance studio doing Zumba and things of that nature. So I'm just, you know, like I'm so excited to, you know, to be in this space, but at the same time, some of those seeds were planted years ago, and I'm really having to like watch them grow. So that's, you know, that's my organization.
Well, that's wonderful. It is wonderful. So tell parents,
okay,
how can they get their children involved?
Okay, well, we're having, we just actually closed our ending our session just because of COVID. It kind of extended, so we did a lot of virtual meetings and virtual things with mentors. But our new season starts the beginning of October, so it'll be starting in October. So we'll be accepting applications in September, not only for parents but for mentors too. So you know, we allow the mentors that previously was on from the previous year to stay if they want to. But of course, time changes, people get, you know, busy. So we want new people to filter in. We want new people from different backgrounds to filter in. But you can find all that information out on our website, and that's 5050collab.org. And all of our social media sites and things like that will have information on how you can to apply and get in contact with us.
Okay, well, wonderful. I think you want to say something else to my viewers.
No, and I know, you know, with the social justice of what I'm doing, and people always want to know, how can you support? It's like, how can you support? How can we support 50/50? You can support 50/50 financially. You can, you know, support 50/50 by, you know, allowing us to use some spaces, because with these new experiences that they do every once a month, you know, we're open to any opportunity. But financial, you know, in order to provide a program to create those experiences for those young girls, it costs money. And so we do a variety of fundraisers. Our biggest fundraiser is our Derby Brunch, our Royal Derby Brunch. That's been going on for about 6 years now. And of course, we wasn't able to do that this year. And so the Derby Brunch March fundraisers helps with scholarships, and also helps with our global education trips for them to travel, internationally. And so with that, of course, pushing social justice in there, because these are our future leaders. We got to show them the way. So if you want to support, you can also go to 5050collab.org and click on donations, and it'll allow you to go to our donation page and donate. We always got, Cash App. You don't want to do it that way, but sometimes that's more convenient for people, and that's Friends of Nicole. You can just strictly do Cash App, Zelle, all of that from Friends of Nicole.
Okay, well, great.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for being with us today. I really appreciate hearing everything that you are doing, and keep up the good work.
Thank you. You too. I'm so proud of you. This is amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Coming up next, we have our hidden gem, Miss Jackie Mayfield. We'll be right back. Welcome back. And today we're going to talk with a real hidden gem in our community, Miss Jackie Mayfield.
How you doing?
Jackie is the owner of Super Beauty. And I didn't know exactly what to call it because you all do so much. So I want to give you the opportunity to talk to everyone and tell everyone all of the services that they can take advantage of at Super Beauty.
Okay, well, Super Beauty is literally the first of its kind in the world, and so I'm so happy to say that because we actually had to do some research on that just so that we could be able to say that. Literally component-wise and the dynamics of it, the way that it works for our community, we literally laid every brick with the entrepreneur, the aspiring entrepreneur in mind. So we offer makeup, eyebrow, eyelash, teeth whitening, mole removal, mani-pedi. We have a cosmetology spa that doubles as a barbershop. We also have a massive wig unit selection. It is privacated so that a lot of people with cancer, a lot of people with alopecia, different terminal illnesses, they are able to come in and they have privacy. They have private sections which no other beauty supply store has. And so we are able to set them down and give them a throne is what we call it. Okay. So our hair is called our crown. And when we lose it or when we do something to it that damages it, and we don't do it because we want to, we want to make sure that we restore it in a manner that is dignant to how they want to emphasize themselves again. Mm-hmm. So we set them down on a throne chair, and then we actually say, hey, at your service, what is it that we can do to help you restore yourself? So we allow them to choose from different crowns, different heads of hair, so to speak. And then we allow them to try it on, again, privately, and allow them to, hey, if this is not the wig for you, a lot of the times we have different shapes of heads, right? And so we can customize that for you. We make sure that if it's not the style you want, then we also have a massive bundle selection so that you can go in and create that build a wig for yourself. We have a lot of children that we deal with that have lost their hair. in my experience, in my survey in my research of doing this, I went into a lot of beauty supply stores, and I actually ran into a child who was with her father, and she had cancer, and she had lost all her hair. And as a child, that's a very devastating experience, you know. So she was holding on to her dad. She said, "Dad, I don't want to take my hair off." So the hair that she had on, it was ill-fitted, and he was trying to get something that would look, you know, was better suited for her. But they wanted her to remove her hair right there in front of everyone at the store, and she just refused to do it. You know, so I talked to the owner. I said, you know, why not take her around the shelf? You know, she's got to spend a massive amount of money on real human hair, and so the very least we could do is respect her privacy. You know, he said, well, I could take her around there if she's going to spend that type of money. So it was all him thinking about, you know, the kind of money he could make from this child. And immediately I was saying, you know, God, this is my calling. You know, I know for a fact from the experiences that I've had that this one-stop shop that we possess is literally about customizing the person inside out, which is why we also have a power bar, so that if, you know, you've come to us and you have a battle that you've gone through, whether it's cancer, whether it's a domestic battle, whether it's with yourself, you know, which was a battle that I had. You have to come in and you have to say, I need something that's gonna, you know, help with my hair, help with my skin, help with my illness, and then we can actually help you create a tonic, or you can come in and say, I want this, this, and this, measured out for me, and we can get that to you.
Wow.
So we have a lot of things in the store that just intertwine, and I can go on and on and on. We have a massive CBD herb section. We also have a pharmacy that we're going to bring to life. You know, it's a holistic pharmacy, but it administers a DNA test that will allow you to say, hey, I can eat this, I can't eat this, you know, because, hey, we're doing this household thing is what I call it, that's killing us.
Yeah.
Right? You're an individual person. Even your child does not have the same exact DNA strands that you, they don't have the same hair strands, they don't have the same fingerprints as you do, right? So that means that all these household lotions, soaps, and deodorants, somebody's gonna get sick, which is what's happening to us now. Right? So we have a body butter machine, which is a fancy name for lotions. You know, instead of going to get your lotion off of the shelf, come here and let us help you formulate something that's good for your skin. You know, if you have thin skin, then you don't want something thick. You know, it's just the consistency is what we call a body butter. It's going to literally mask your skin for, you know, for you. Beyond that, and I just want to say one more thing, which is the most important for us, is that we are an incubation center. We are here to help, again, the entrepreneur get where they're going from our community. We all the time go into different places, and we go and we purchase things from people. A lot of the times because they have the image of a black person or a black girl on it, we kind of identify with it, so to speak, right? And I guess that kind of normalizes our spending habits. We control that dollar, right? And so at the very least, why would we not put our names and create our own brands alongside those massive brands that we see and we sell all the time in the store? We've cleared our shelves out so that we can help you create that brand, we can help you endorse that brand in store and online, a private label. It doesn't matter what it is, whether it's hair, whether it's a hair product, whether it's a service. You know, come and see us. Let us help you. We're here. We were literally built so that you can aspire, customize yourself, enhance yourself, and get where you're going.
Well, I'm just excited because I didn't know that, you know, I saw it when you opened, and I knew that it was, but I always thought it was just a beauty supply store. So when you started talking to me about all this stuff, I was like, well, wait a minute. I can get all this, so it's, you know, builds into that whole scenario of a one-stop shop. So I think that, you know, I want to make sure that when we're putting all of this information out, that we let our viewers know that all of this is available right here in our city.
Yes, ma'am.
And it's black owned and operated. So I think those are important factors that we need to make sure that we, you know, when you mentioned one thing, control the dollar. Control the dollar. And we need to do more of that, especially in our neighborhood. So tell us where you're located, and how we can, you know, get in touch with you and take advantage of your services.
Absolutely. Again, it's Super Beauty with an I. We are located right next to Texas Roadhouse, 4420 Dixie Highway, Suite 132. Our services are by appointment only, so you can reach us at 502-742-0010. We can also be located on the web at superbeauty.com. Again, that's superbeauty.com.
Well, thank you so much, Jackie, for being with us. I am going to personally come out to Super Beauty, and I'm going to take advantage of some of the products that you have going on, and I hope to see you again real soon.
Well, the pleasure will be all of ours. Come out and let us love on you, which is what we do.
All right, love. Well, thank you so much. So that concludes our show for today. Thank you again for watching, and we'll see you next week.